Is it too late to make gold with professions in the war within? A lot of you guys are asking me this, and today we're gonna figure it out. I'm gonna show you how I am making so much gold with professions and how you can do it as well. It is much easier than you can think, and I'm gonna show you exactly the process that I am doing. I know that it can be tricky to find out what is profitable and what is not, because the numbers is always showing up as red, right? And if you don't even have the craft team add-on, you don't really have any numbers to look at. And the calculations to find out what is profitable right now is impossible to do with just head math, because we have all of the profession stats, which is making everything a mess in terms of calculations. I'm gonna help you with all of that today, and I'm gonna make it really easy for you. But let's start by talking about what I think is the best profession combination right now, what professions I'm using and what crafts I'm using right now to make a lot of gold. So what I tend to recommend now, this late in the expansion, when there is less demand of items, people are buying stuff way less than they did, for example, in the beginning of a season or in the beginning of an expansion. I usually say that diversifying is a must. Trying to sell one single item now on the auction house is not a good strategy to make gold by crafting, because it will take you so long time to actually get this item sold if you just have one item. Instead of having, for example, 1,000 mana potions, maybe you want to have 100 of each potion or something, so you diversify to get into more markets, have way more sellers, and sell your items way faster. And to get to this point, of course, having multiple professions is going to be king. And the three professions that I'm using currently to make the most amount of gold is alchemy, together with thaumaturgy in alchemy, Jewelcrafting, and also inscription. This is a very nice combination in my opinion, and like it pairs so well, because if you don't know, when you do thaumaturgy in alchemy, you basically turn one material into a bunch of other materials. What I mostly am doing is turning leather into other materials, which will give me a bunch of herbs, and it will also give me a bunch of ores. That is the majority of the items that I'm gonna get. And both inscription and alchemy needs herbs to make their crafts, and Jewelcrafting need their ore to prospect to get the gems to craft gems. That is what I'm usually doing. I know it's quite hard to have an alchemist that is both decked out fully on thaumaturgy and potions and flasks. Like, it requires a lot of points, and if you don't have it, it takes some time to set up. But if you do have it, you have a golden opportunity. But otherwise, if you start working on something now, I would definitely start working on thaumaturgy, because that can funnel all of your materials into other professions, which is really powerful. So if you don't have anything in alchemy now, I would say start working on thaumaturgy. It's gonna take you 2 weeks roughly if you min-max the points to get a full setup in thaumaturgy. I'm not gonna go through the setups in this video. I have setups for all of the professions on my channel, so we don't have time for that in today's video. It takes about 2 weeks to get fully set up on thaumaturgy, and I would say that is the most powerful profession right now, because that makes you able to get all of your materials so much cheaper, and we're gonna look at that as well now. As I said, my current combination: thaumaturgy, alchemy, inscription, and Jewelcrafting. You can of course have other professions as well, doesn't matter, but this is just the ones that I am using to make the most amount of gold right now, since I'm processing a lot of leather mainly. We're gonna look at now how I find out what is profitable, and then we're gonna look at what crafts I am doing to make a lot of gold. And there are quite a lot of crafts that I'm doing, so I think it's gonna be quite valuable for you to know like what crafts I'm doing. But first, let's check out how I'm finding out what is profitable. I'm sorry for interrupting, but could you please just press that subscribe button? It would be insane if we could hit 20k subscribers before the end of this year. Much love, and let's continue with the video. This is way easier than you think now, because we have actually developed a spreadsheet, and together with an add-on. This is all completely free to use, so don't worry, but you need an add-on and you need a spreadsheet. You can use craft sim for a lot of stuff in the game as well to find out what is profitable, but it is not always accurate. It is not always the best, but it is a really powerful add-on, so using craft sim is really good as well. But I highly recommend you to check out the spreadsheet to find out what is profitable or not. The guide to the spreadsheet and the link to the spreadsheet and everything will of course be included in the description, so you can just check it out right there. So when you come to my spreadsheet, spreadsheet, all you gotta do is press file and make a copy so you get an own copy to yourself that you can edit. After that, check in the tabs below here. If you want to do thaumaturgy, for example, you head to thaumaturgy. You see an add-on import list here at the top left. All you gotta do is just double click and copy this full cell. Then you come to the auction house, and with our add-on you can find the icon at the map, or if it's opening up automatically, then all you gotta do is import the list that you just copied from the spreadsheet. You just copy paste it into this little import list. Boom, import list, and you will find the user list here. So then you just go to thaumaturgy, apply filter, then you see a bunch of stuff here in the middle. Don't worry about it, but this is basically all of the prices that you will check. Press update prices and it will scan the auction house for a couple of seconds. So when you're done with that, check the chat message if everything went fine. And if everything went fine, all you gotta do is press export prices. You get this string here that you just copy by doing Control-C, of course. You come into the spreadsheet, you post it here into the input your copied export data tab. You double click and you just override everything that's in there with your new string. Boom, you will see this price list here updates. You go back to thaumaturgy and you can now see in the thaumaturgy spreadsheet what is profitable and not. So this is actually insane. Right now we're looking at some crazy margins. I don't know what is going on here, but we have a 14% here. This is after auction house cut as well, so this would be 19% profit on thaumaturgy. Like, it's crazy good. So then you can check out all of the different ones here. Here we have Gloom Shit in thaumaturgy, then we have Stormstarch Leather, Blessing Blossom, and Myco Bloom. This is currently the 4 ones that we have. And for example, if you want to do the Gloom Shit in, then you can see down here the price it is counting on, because it's picking the cheapest average prices. So for gold, so if you check the auction house for Gloom Shit in, you should be able to find that amount below for gold, and that we can easily do here. As we can see, I'm actually gonna buy a lot here because this is quite cheap, so I might as well buy it now when we do this. So then we can see, as long as we buy the Gloom Shitting for 4 gold, we are making 15% profit after auction house cut. So that would be 20% before auction house cut. So since we're using the maths in our other professions, this would be 20% cheaper maths that we get automatically by using this in our other profession. And that, as you can hear, is absolutely huge. So after we have done thaumaturgy, basically all materials that we use from thaumaturgy is 20% cheaper than if we were to buy them straight off the auction house. So that already increases our margins by 20% doing other crafts. And then if those crafts are 5 or 10% profit, that just compounds and get more and more profit, as you understand. So the more steps we take, the more profit we make. Of course, it takes more and more time as well, but it is how it is. The more steps we do, the more gold we make. Now, of course, the leather is insane here as well. So I am going to buy leathers if I wasn't too late now, up to 419, as it say. At 420 we can definitely buy. So I'm just buying some stuff here so I have it for later, because I'm gonna be crafting. So that is really, really good. And then when doing thaumaturgy, of course, I will get a lot of materials now that I can then use in my other professions. So this was kind of just showing you how the spreadsheet works, how easy it is to use, and how good it is now when we have an add-on that is taking the average prices off of the auction house, so you don't have to worry about bait prices and stuff like that. And of course, everything will be included in the written guide as well. That is completely free. All you gotta do though to access the written guide is sign up on Patreon, which is free, join my free Patreon, which is free, and then just get the free spreadsheet. So everything is completely free, but I needed somewhere to write a guide for it, so I decided to do that on the Patreon. But it's completely free and free to use, and free updates all the time as well. There are other options here as well, of course. You can take the full spreadsheet and get prices for the entire spreadsheet. Then every single tab will get updated, so you can check what is profitable in what professions and what's going on there. You can also check this tick box in a lot of different tabs here to choose if you want to do rank 2 or rank 3 crafts, basically. Okay, that was the spreadsheet. So I hope that is understandable and easy to use. Now let's go through exactly what kind of crafts that I'm doing currently to make a lot of gold. So we're quickly gonna go through this, and we're gonna start with the alchemy then. Of course, thaumaturgy, absolutely huge. But with the thaumaturgy mats, some crafts that I am doing that is selling really, really well now and is doing decent profit is Flask of Alchemical Chaos and all of the different different flasks here. Not the saving graces, that is bad. You can also do tempered potions. As you can see, the numbers are skewed now. It's because it's basing it off the maths I'm using here, so don't worry about that. This is the crafts that I'm doing in alchemy, the flasks and the potion, and also some of the files. The file of true sight is good, I would say. The concentrated ingenuity can be okay, but the two others here I don't really craft now, since file of bountiful season is kind of useless now when it's off season for the crafters, and this one is just bad. So that is what I'm doing in alchemy. Let's log in and check what I'm doing in Jewelcrafting and Inscription real quick as well. Okay, so now we are on my Jewelcrafter. This one also has a lot of points. It has full shaping, full gem cutting, which is a lot. You don't need all of this to make gold, so don't worry about it. If you have it, it's better. What I do then is I funnel all of my ores to my Jewelcrafter. I then prospect all of my ores. Of course, I can check the spreadsheet and see how profitable it is to prospect, but usually it is quite profitable, about 5 to 10% after auction house cut, so that adds another 5 to 10%. And since we have the margins from thaumaturgy from before, that we had in this case was like 15%, that is quite high, so don't expect that high all the time. Then we would have like a 20-25% margin already on the prospected stuff, and then after I've prospected everything, I try to produce as many gilded vials at rank 3 as I possibly can. And to get my gilded vials at rank 3, you need rank 3 gemstones. And to get the rank 3 gemstones then, in this case, I actually buy bismuth, or I refine the rank 2 bismuth that I got from thaumaturgy into rank 3, and then I crush them, which will give me rank 3 gemstones, which then I make gilded vials from the gemstones I get from that, and also from the glass that I get from prospecting. So as you can see, I'm utilizing all of the materials, and sometimes I even buy a little bit more to be able to utilize the materials I get from thaumaturgy to produce more stuff. And gilded vials rank 3 is usually quite profitable and selling really fast as well. So at rank 3, those are great to sell in my opinion. Of course, we get all of these raw gems when we prospect as well, so these we're gonna spend on gems. On gems we spend as much as we can as well, and for that we needed gemstones, so I'm producing quite a lot of rank 3 gemstones from bismuth. But of course I check the spreadsheet first if it's profitable to do so. And the powerful thing as well with the spreadsheet and craft sim combination is that if you come to the spreadsheet and you want to see how profitable it is to make rank 3 gemstones, as you can see here, you get a crafted price per gemstone. So this is how much you have crafted the gemstones for when you have used the prices. Now we don't have a price data here, but if you would to have that, you can see how much you would craft a gemstone for, and usually it is cheaper, of course, because otherwise it's not profitable. So let's say they are 62 gold now on the auction house, then we probably craft them for around 50 gold. And if we know that then from the spreadsheet, we can come to price overrides, and we can actually override the price of the gemstone to 50 gold if that is our crafted price. Boom. And then we can see that the numbers here will turn very different and give us a lot of profit. That is also another case to show you how powerful it is to craft something to use into other crafts, and the further we go, the more gold we make. I may be yapping a bit much now, but I'm trying to be as clear as possible and show you many different ways of using this. If you don't have thaumaturgy, you can use these other parts as well. Like, you don't need thaumaturgy to make profit, it just increases your profit. And then just to show you what crafts I'm doing here, I do all of the different gems, and of course if you're starting this out, create just a few each and see what's selling the best for you. Don't craft 1,000 gems each, that's gonna be really expensive though, so you're probably not gonna do that. But just be careful, always craft small, start out, check how it's going, and then you can do more and more the next time. And then of course the gilded vial I'm doing a lot, and I'm using the majority of blasphemite that we get from thaumaturgy into magnificent jeweler settings because they are flying. They're selling so fast, it's insane. And if you want to increase your profit margins on that, you can also craft the marbled stones yourself. As you can see, they have quite a good profit margin. So that is Jewelcrafting, and I hope that opens up your eyes to that profession. Now let's quickly go over to Inscription as well. Okay, so we're now on the Inscriptionist. So of course, all of the herbs that you get and you want to use them in Inscription, you have to mill them, of course. So that is the first step that you will do here in Inscription, and that will increase your profit margins, of course, on making the inks. And inks is also a good craft. You can stay on the inks and sell the inks, but as I say, diversifying is good. So crafting both inks, then going to the reagents, crafting both reagents. Ciphers sell way more than greenwood, so just be aware of that. Same with the inks. I think you sell way more apricot ink than shadow inks, so just be aware of that as well. So if I do Inscription, I would go mill everything that you have, then you craft inks, you save some inks so you can sell inks, then you use the other inks to craft both ciphers and greenwoods, so you have additional 2 items. And if you have the spec to make more stuff, go into making more stuff. You could, for example, make missives. Missives is really good, most of the case at rank 3 then, of course. Rank 2 missives you can make, but if you do make very few of them, they are selling very much slower. Rank 3s are selling way faster and they have a great profit margin as well, so highly recommend to check out the combat stat missives. The profession stat missives sell way slower. They are insanely volatile in prices, going up and down. You can try these markets as well, of course, but craft very few and like feel your way through, because that is way more volatile in my opinion. But so Inscription, we have missives, we have inks, we have ciphers and greenwoods, and I think that's pretty much it. That is the crafts that I'm doing in Inscription, and it's really good and it's diversifying a lot. As you can see, like if I were to do all of these crafts in one session, it takes a bit of time, but then I have so much items to sell. Like when posting on the auction house, every time you post, something sells or multiple items sells. Every like rescan I do with TSM, something sells. Sometimes I'm getting like 100, 200,000 gold of items selling in the last 2 minutes because I have so much items to sell, and that you will never ever see if you just sell one item, for example inks. So if you can, diversify. If you can't, start work on a new profession so you have some more to output. That is my recommendations. So it's absolutely not too late to make gold with professions right now, but if you start setting up professions right now, I would recommend you to start working on multiple professions at the same time, so when they are up and running you have more than one profession. And I highly recommend you to check out thaumaturgy as well, because it's so powerful. So I hope this has opened up your eyes now to what I craft, what you can craft for profits, and how you can use the spreadsheet to make so much gold. Please help me reach 20k subscribers by subscribing, like the video so it spreads to more people, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Best of luck, goodbye.